everybody, it's Eric with Muscle Cars with Eric coming at you today from Kingman, Arizona. We are standing in front of Bad Gas Garage, which is the coolest custom shop in the entire state of Arizona. And I got this really cool cat named Bill here, and we're standing in front of his 1968 Pontiac GTO. And man, I appreciate the time you took out of your life to be here today with me. This car is off the chain cool. Bill, tell us a little bit about the car. Like, how long have you had it? When did you get this car?
I bought this car about 6 years ago.
Okay.
Actually out of a dealership in California.
No kidding.
Brought it back and then did a number of things to make it mine after that.
So what did you do to it? What was the first thing you did to it?
The first thing I did to it was we put a cam in the engine. In fact, Bad Gas Garage, I mean, it totally pulled out the engine, went over the engine, made sure no leaks. We even painted it so it was a right Pontiac blue. Checked the, we changed the rear end. Later on, put air conditioning in it.
Really?
Backup camera. And just a few weeks ago, I took the 4-speed out. They took the 4-speed out and put a 5-speed in, which is really cool. So
I'll bet it is.
Yeah.
And in car, I tell you what, folks, you're going to hear the engine. This car sounds so wicked cool. I mean, it's really neat. Now, we have an unusual paint scheme here. And I know we're talking about off camera that it came from something. This is like a maroon or magenta or something color here. And is it like somebody, you got either a Suzuki or Mazda or something like that?
Yeah. And it's naturally not the original color.
Right.
You know, we've had to match it up because actually the tack on the hood, that wasn't there before. Again.
Okay.
We had that put on too.
Okay.
And that's where we had to go and find the exact match.
Paint code type thing?
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, gotcha. Now this is really well done. Now did this car come in this kind of condition, or did you have to kind of like massage it a little bit to clean it up?
No, it was pretty much in good condition when I bought it. It wasn't cheap.
Let's walk this way.
But it, you know, I've done a lot to it to make it mine, though.
That's cool. I like, you know, this particular year Pontiac GTO is just one of the baddest cars out there. I mean, this car is really super cool. Now, did you have to do anything to the interior of the car at all?
The interior is the interior. That's the way I bought it.
Okay.
Except for that, we had to redo the
console.
The console.
Okay. All right.
And naturally, you know, the shifter is
There's
different.
That 5-speed, right? Okay.
Oh, and we put in the gauges.
Well, can I open up this door here?
Sure.
Oop.
Yeah, the gauges are new. The radio is new. I mean, I still have the original radio, but that one is Bluetooth. But it still looks old.
Factory.
Pontiac. Yeah.
That's pretty cool the way they do that.
Yeah.
And all these autometer gauges are new gauges?
Yes.
So you have your volts, and your water temp, and your oil pressure, and you said you have air conditioning.
Yeah.
Is this like a factory style air conditioning?
Not really.
Okay. Wow. Wood steering wheel too, man. That is so tough. I mean, it's not just wood grain, but it's real deal wood.
It is.
What kind of wood is it made out of, do you know?
I do not.
And I like the fuzzy dice.
Oak?
Oak? This is cool, man. Wow. You know, based upon the way the engine sounded, I bet this car kind of gets up and goes, doesn't it?
It moves.
I bet it does, man.
It moves.
This is really nice.
And changing to the 5-speed has been a remarkable difference. I mean, I'm driving it a lot more now that
Are you?
5-speeds in it.
Does it seem to like run better, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Does it have that extra?
Well, it keeps the RPMs down.
Yep.
Greater speed, less RPM.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Let's keep walking around here.
Okay.
Now is this top new?
That's the top that came with the car.
No kidding.
Yeah.
The top was in great condition. Look at this. This is just really neat, man. I like your plate. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a very creative way of using it. This is really well done. And you bought it in this condition for the most part?
Pretty much.
Okay. That's cool. Now, have you had Pontiac GTOs in the past, or is this your first purchase?
I had a 1968 GTO.
Okay.
In 1970.
Oh, no kidding.
It was a used car that I bought. It was all black, triple black.
Okay.
Only it was a hard top and automatic.
Gotcha.
But this one,
yeah.
this one's so much cooler.
Oh, wow, it's got the drop top, man, you know?
Yeah, and the manual transmission.
Yes. This is neat. This is really a nice car. Now, you said the tachometer was new, right?
Yep. That was not on the car when I bought it.
Is it standard on the Judge, the tachometer on the?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But it's typical on a lot of just the regular GTOs.
Is that
too.
right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Just an option, I guess.
Now, are these stock style wheels or stock wheels?
Those are stock.
Stock? Oh yeah, Pontiac Motor Division. Look at that. PMD, yeah, man. Yeah. Call me Captain Obvious, right?
Yeah. Oh, we changed out all the tires too.
What kind of tire? Let's see.
We got the bigger tires in the back. And
oh, the Pirellis, okay. Staggered size, that's neat.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know, we heard the engine, and now I'm a firm believer that the engine is a diamond in the rough. So, can we get an opportunity to pop through and take a look at the engine?
Sure.
I like when he says sure. Like, oh yeah, hold on, we're going to show off my engine. Well, I'll tell you, now I've got Trebe with me, which is First Wrench of Bad Gas Garage, and he's the main guy that put this vehicle together. And this definitely is a diamond in a setting, because this is just a gorgeous engine. So Trebe, what was done to this engine, and how did you get it? I mean, this is really cool, man. What'd you do to it?
Well, when he got the car, it had a rope seal in the rear for the rear main. We tried everything to get it to quit seeping. You cannot replace that with the engine in the car. So we took the engine out, and when the engine's out, Bill decided he wanted a bigger cam. He wanted it to sound nice. So
Okay.
this cam is 525 lift with 230 and 230. I think it's a 236.
So that gives it more opportunity to breathe, right?
I
And
did
it
this
also
6 years ago.
It sounds bad to the bone, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I did this 6 years ago, and I've done a few cars in between.
I'm
so
sure you have, yeah.
without looking it up, that's about what it is.
That's cool, man.
But
it did sound bad to the bone there.
all of the seals and everything underneath came from Butler. They're Pontiac specialists, so it's got a neoprene rear seal. This thing has no leaks. I just did a 5-speed in it, and American Powertrain has got the kit for this.
Okay.
And can't say enough good stuff about it. It fit right in. I had to do minimal modifications, and there was not one drop of oil underneath the engine or on the clutch or anything. So
that's cool.
The seals that Butler is putting out are great. The engine's holding up well. I mean,
It looks great. It sounds great too.
you know, because he drives it and keeps it clean, keeps the oil changed, which is about all you can do.
Right.
The Vintage Air, this is one of the
That's
first,
what this is here?
This is the Vintage Air.
Okay.
This is one of the first 6 units that Vintage Air put out specifically for 1968 Pontiac.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You can see inside on the earlier part of the video where it's got the electronic controls.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all electronic, and it fits
nice.
the dash.
Yeah, I noticed that.
The only other thing we did is I don't really like the vents hanging down on the corners, so he let me cut out the edges of the dash, and I put in-dash.
That's what I was pointing out earlier, right?
Yeah, I
okay.
did that.
All right. Oh wow, good job. Now you also said something about your suspension here is not stock suspension, which it isn't.
Yeah, it's all tubular control arms.
That's cool.
They were already on the car when he brought it in.
All right.
So all we did was do an alignment on it so it would go down the road straight.
Okay. Well, that's important to do.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, just a little.
Now let's work our way back to the back, because you were saying something about when we did the cold start. You're saying something about the rear bumper. So what do we got here? Oh, this is not the bumper though.
These wheels are aluminum knockoffs. They're factory style, but they are all one-piece aluminum.
Oh no, that's very cool.
They're a little bit bigger, but they keep the Pontiac vibe, which, you know,
You want that.
GM really had it going on back in the 60s.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of guys that would rather have the stock wheels. I go, you know, other than unmodified, and when they started making the stock ones, modifying the stock ones and everything, that turned out great.
Cool. Now let's go back here. You have staggered wheel sizes, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I
we
like
tried
that.
to get him wide enough underneath the back, and also enough section width,
That's
so
cool.
the ride would be a little bit smooth.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's not, the roads around here aren't the greatest to begin with.
No, they're not.
They're livable, but that's about it.
Now you said you had to do something custom with this bumper, so
Yeah.
talk about what we did here.
On Pontiac exhausts, they usually come out the side.
Okay.
Bill wanted to be a little different, and I opened my mouth and said, hey, we could shove them through the bumper.
And
Next thing I know, I'm cutting up a brand new bumper.
well, it looks great
So-
though, man.
But he's pretty much got the only one.
It looks really
Which
cool.
that might have been a little bit. I want to be the one,
This
which is cool.
neat.
That's what you do with cars.
Yes, you did.
The other thing is all the lights and even the dash lights, they're all LED.
Okay.
So I mean, they did have a, you know, the old lights and everything. They were hard to see to begin with.
Right. So you have
But
LED
the
in
LED
there now?
brightens everything up.
It
And
does.
it's even got LED reverse lights.
That's pretty cool.
And he can actually, I tried them in the shop and I could see behind it, so I'm sure he can see behind it just fine.
Nice. That's the way to do it.
But just little stuff like that, little conveniences.
And there's that
make it-
5-speed transmission.
Yeah.
I showed that earlier today.
Yeah, American
Now, is this
powertrain.
standard? What do you want to call it, instrument panel from the Pontiac?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the stock dash.
Okay. All right.
And then the vintage air. I mean, it looks almost.
That's
looks
what this is
almost
here,
stock.
right?
Yeah,
Well, let's get in there.
that control.
Oh, I got you. Okay. This is cool.
But tried to make it so I didn't want to cut too much stuff up because of what the car is.
Right.
But I tried to make it manageable for him.
That's cool.
You know,
Well,
modern
It
convenience.
appears, looking at the smile on his face, it appears though you did a great job with his car.
He keeps coming back, so
Right on.
that's a
I like
good
that.
thing.
I like that. All right. Only here at Muscle Cars there, you get to see a really cool car like this. Bad Gas Garage, the coolest shop in the entire state of Arizona, if not the country. Stick around for more, because I think we're going to take this car for a ride. All right, so we're getting ready to take this bad devil for a ride here, man. Bill, thanks so much, because this car is off the chain cool. And look at the weather.
Yeah.
Top down, perfect weather, going to be a beautiful day today. All right, let her rip, Tater Chip.
All righty.
So what's the coolest thing for you about driving your car?
You know, it takes me back to when I had my 68. But another thing is for other people to look at it and admire it and give me the thumbs up.
Good for you, dude. That's so cool.
Right.
And that's the beauty about hot rodding and owning a cool car like this, is that you get the thumbs up from people and whatnot. And you got to figure, we're in Kingman, Arizona, which is the heart of Route 66. And you got one of the baddest cars in the world, and then to have it here in Kingman, Arizona, it's so cool.
And it's a culture here.
It is.
It
Total
is a culture here.
Yeah. And it sounds so cool too.
There it is, Kingman, Arizona.
Yep. Yep. Only here at Muscle Cars of the Air do you get to cruise around on Route 66 in a 1968 Pontiac GTO Convertible. Bill, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Enjoyed it.
Later.